Oh, flippity flap. I was on mute. Oh, how does this thing work? Oh, hello, everyone. And now then, we have a lot to do, and Baban's asleep again. She's always asleep. Will you help us? Queen Helena's coming, and we've got a lot to do. Oh, dear me. Oh, we have to grow the garden and everything. Oh, wake up, Baban. Baban!
Hey, Beth, Pam, Pryd. Oh, hello, pawb. Faint o'r gloch ydy hi?
Yeah, that's right, Baban. We are going to show our friends how to grow one of our beautiful...
Blodau.
Yes, flowers.
Ydw, rwy'n cofio nawr. Rydyn ni'n mynd dyfu mwy o blodau ar gyfer garth y Frenhines Elinor yma yng Nghastell Conwy. Ond ble mae Livy? Livy adeiladodd y gastell a helpodd y Frenhines Elinor i'r dyfu'r arth flodau.
Livy did build a castle and helped Queen Eleanor grow her wonderful garden. And I am going to call her now and show her and see if she can help us build our own.
Blodau?
Yes, flower, indeed. Right, here we go. How do we use this thing? Well, how do we stand here and now? Okay. Oh, hello, Livy. Hello.
Shemai, hi everyone.
All good, Livy?
How is the castle? The garden is looking splendid.
Ie, popeth yn iawn. Livy, allwn ni helpu chi dweud wrth ei ffrindiau yma sut I dyfu blodyn?
Of course, Baban. You can help me explain to all our friends how to grow their own flower. I'll go through the steps and you can help as we go along, okay?
Iawn. Athrawon yn barod?
Here we go. Okay, everyone, here we are inside of Sculpt GL, and what you're going to see in front of you is a big ball of digital clay, and that's exactly how we're going to think of it, because all the tools we use are just like tools you'd use if you played yourself with Play-Doh and things like that. It's very similar, actually.
Rydw I wedi chwarae gyda Play-Doh.
So I'm going to explain a little bit just about the screen you see. Over here in the sculpting and painting area is where we are going to go through our different tools, and I'm going to talk you through some of these different tools here.
Dyma holl offer y bydd ei hangen arnom am gyffrous.
If you make a mistake, for example, I'm going to do something little here, and you want to get rid of what you've just done, we're going to go up to history and then undo.
Dad, wneud hanes.
And then we can get rid of what you've just done there, nice and easy. The next bit I'm going to explain is just a little bit about what these two bits mean here, radius and intensity. These are the only two things that we're going to want to play around with in this area, really. So once I've explained these, they kind of go between all the different tools you can use these things. Radius is how big your mouse is going to be. Imagine this is how big your hand is or how much of the clay you're going to grab or add. So see here when I'm moving, it looks I'm adding a lot there. But if I was to turn this down small, then we're only adding a small amount of clay. And then the intensity is how much of something we're doing. So if the intensity is up really high, we're piling things up really high, for example. And if the intensity is down low, then we're only adding a little bit of it.
Dwysedd isel, neu dwysedd isel. Rhoi'ch gynnig arni.
And then the other thing, to navigate around the screen, what you're going to do is just hold down the left mouse button and drag around the screen. It's relatively intuitive. It's similar to other video games you might have played, and that's how you can rotate around your clay ball.
GL. Daliwch botwm, chwyth y llygoden I lawr, I gylch droi a amgylch y pêl clai. Gwych!
Okay, the first tool I'm going to show you guys is the drag tool. I'm going to show you this to just show you to really not be afraid of changing up this big ball of clay you've got in front of you. We can really change the shape of this. We don't have to keep it the way it is. If we have the radius up high, you can see now that we can really drag around and change the shape of this. like turn that down a bit lower. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drag this to create maybe a bit of a heart shape. I know this isn't a normal shape of a flower, but this isn't a normal castle. We can do whatever we want. So here at the moment, we're kind of creating a little bit of a heart shape. If we navigate around the back, maybe we can really pull this out and as if it's maybe a bit of a stem or something. And this is really just to show you guys that you can really change up the shape of this quite easily when you turn your radius up really high. So don't be afraid to really move things in a really large way.
Dyna ni, peidiwch â bod ofyn, dim ond chwarae o gwmpas. Gallwch rhewi'r fideo yma as ydych chi'n dymuno. A phwyswch chwarae fyddwch chi'n barod.
The next tool is our brush tool.
Offeryn brwsh.
You saw me use this a little bit earlier. I'm going to explain a little bit about what this tool is. So the brush tool, think of this as if you're adding more clay onto your clay ball. You're going to your pack of clay and just like adding more on top. So what we're going to do here is we're going to turn the radius down quite small. Intensity up somewhere in the middle. That's probably fine like that. Maybe I'll turn it up a little bit. And we're just going to add on some sort of petals, if you like, around the edge. Again, I know what you're thinking, this doesn't look like a flower, but it's our own flower. This is the one that we're making. So let's add these bits of clay on around the edge like this. And here we go, we've got some petals around the edge.
O ia, edrychwch. Gallwn ni'n petalau allan o'r clai. Rhewi a rhoi cynnig arni. Pwyswch chwarae pan fyddwch chi'n barod.
Okay, so the next tool I'm going to show you is the inflate tool.
Offeryn chwyddo.
Best way to describe this is imagine that we're getting a straw and blowing air into our clay model. Wouldn't recommend doing that to real clay, but that's kind of the best way to explain it. So we're going to go over to inflate.
Chwytho. Mae hyn yn edrych fel hwyl.
Maybe turn the radius up quite big. You can see here now that we're really sort of expanding and blowing air into these petal shapes to create these fun sort of bulbous petals, if you like. Now that's quite fun, I reckon, but so this is good because we already know these tools. Maybe we can use the move tool to drag some of these out to make these sort of longer looking petals. There we go, I'm liking how this is looking.
Rydw i'n ei hoffi hefyd. Rhewi.
Okay, so the next tool we're going to use is the flatten tool.
Offeryn flatio.
We're going to use this to, guess what, flatten down some of the edges of these petals. If I show you this now, if you navigate around a little bit, turn the radius up a little bit, what I'm doing here is flattening the edges of these petals to kind of give them a squarer edge. And this tool is quite handy if you just want to hack away little small parts of where you're working as well, or like I said, create flatter edges. So we're going to do that all the way around, maybe create some flatter edges all the way around.
Flatio y milo, hi. Rhewi.
Okay, this next tool is really fun for creating finer details and adding in little details to your flowers. Well, it's called the crease tool.
Offeryn crychu.
So we're going to take the crease tool, we're going to turn the radius down really low, and this is where we can really start adding in some little details. See here, I'm adding little lines into these petals. You can create your own shapes, just sort of draw on, essentially.
O ia. Waw, mae hyn yn cool. Gallwn grychu'r clai I ychwanegu manilion.
What's great about this symmetry tool that's on automatically is that it can create some really cool patterns really quick for us. Look at that, that looks really good.
Rydw I yn gallu gweld nawr popeth yn gymesur.
Looks a bit like a tiger now, doesn't it?
Rhewi a rhoi cynnig arni.
Okay, I'm going to show you guys the smooth tool.
Offeryn llyfnau.
This is quite handy in a few different sort of situations. One, if you want to make a sharp edge less sharp, and two, you can kind of use it almost like a rubber. Say if you didn't want that line, you've drawn a line that you don't really want, and you just want to flatten it down a little bit. So we're going to flatten down some of these because we're going to add a different effect to these top petals here. So think of the smooth tool as maybe an undo or a rubber, or smoothing down some of the harsher edges that you might have created using the crease tool.
Offeryn llyfnau rhewi. Yr offeryn troi.
This next tool is a twist tool. We can create these really fun swirls with this one. I'm going to turn the radius down a little bit. If we go up closer to one of these, if you click down and then rotate your mouse around, look, we're creating these really awesome swirls. I think that's a really fun detail we can add to our flowers. And if you do it right in the symmetry point, look, it almost looks like horns or something.
Mae edrych fel cyn. Rhewi a rhoi cynnig arni a chwarae pan fyddech chi'n barod.
Now, let's add some colour to our flowers.
Offeryn peintio.
For this, we're going to use the paint tool. To change what colour you want, just go over to this area here where you can see the different colours, and you can scroll around and see which type of shades we want. Maybe let's go for an orange.
Oren.
So don't worry that it looks like it's colouring in your whole model in one colour. That's just showing you what the colour looked on the model. So I'm going to go over to this orange. And if you do want to fill in the whole thing at once, you can click paint all. So now we have a really nice orange base.
Cliciwch peintio'r popeth.
And I'm going to add some more details in some different colours. So we're going to go over to yellow. And this is where the kind of hardness, I'm going to show you what the hardness means. So if we have the hardness right up, and maybe let's turn the radius down a little bit smaller, then we're adding in harsh edges.
O, ia. Y milon melyn garw.
See how this is kind of like directly, it's got a harsh edge directly going onto each of the petals. But if we want more of a softer look, we can turn the hardness right down. Maybe let's change the colour to a blue. Let's turn the radius up.
Trwch y garwedd I lawr a newid y lliw. Ia, mae'n ei blodau'n gallu edrych. Sut rydyn ni'n ei dewis? Defnyddiwn eich dychymyg.
And here, look, now it looks kind of more of a fun sort of ombre look. Oh, I've made this look even more like a lion now. See, this is the fun. As soon as you stop playing around, you start discovering that you've made all kinds of different things. And again, this garden can be filled with whatever fun flowers that we want. So don't worry about it not looking like a traditional flower. Yeah, maybe let's lean into this and add some little eyeballs to it. Paint the paint.
Peli, llygad ar flodyn. Flippity flap.
There we go, very fun. And here we are. Here's our very own flower tiger magical creature. Well, I hope you enjoyed following along. And don't worry if yours didn't look exactly like this, because we're all just experimenting together anyway. But hopefully now you know a little bit more about some of the tools, so you guys can go off and make your own fun flowers. Can't wait to see what you guys make.
Mae hyn yn edrych yn anhygoel. Byddwn ni nawr yn mynd I rhoi cynnig arni ein hunain. Diolch I Livi. Fel, wna I rhewi nawr, ond cofiwch bysa brysur ar ôl I chi orffen. Barod, rhewi.
And thank you, Baban, for all your help. I look forward to seeing all the amazing flowers that you guys create. Take care of the castle, okay? Bye!